I'm a little amused by like a quarter of a pepper.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome if you're new or welcome back if you're returning. I'm really excited for this video because I've been waiting on this for a couple weeks now. So before I get into this, if you like low carb cooking recipes, meal planning, all that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe now because I make videos about this kind of stuff a lot. But yeah, so I was looking into some kind of like meal kit delivery service for keto or low carb diets, and I didn't really find a ton of options out there. There's a lot of services that deliver like pre-made, little packaged meals, and I didn't really want that. I love cooking and I love, prepping our meals, but I was just getting kind of burnt out, coming up with recipes every week and, getting everything together. And so I just thought, like, it's January and maybe just to get me through like a couple months of winter doldrums, I would look into one of these meal services. So all that to say, after what research I was able to do, I came up with Green Chef. Hopefully you can see that. And this is totally not sponsored, by the way. I did all my own researching and signed up myself for this kit, but I will say there is like a referral link. Like if you sign up through my link, you get some free meals, and then I do get like a discount as well. So I'll put a link to that down in the description if you are interested after watching all this to sign up for yourself. You can check out that link below. But yeah, so Green Chef I chose because they have an actual keto meal plan that actually looks pretty low carb. I won't say it's keto specifically. It doesn't seem like it's on the like high fat end of things, but it definitely is a lower carb than a lot of other so-called low carb meal kits out there. Another thing that I liked about it is they use a lot of organic ingredients whenever possible, and one of the most important things to me also was they seem to really be conscientious about like reducing waste, because with a lot of these kit things, every little ingredient comes in its own little package and you end up with like a ton of wrappers and stuff, and that was something that really always turned me off about these. But Green Chef does a lot as far as like making sure things are recyclable or compostable. I was just reading on their website where they broke down like every different type of packaging they use, and it was like, this you can put in your compost, this just has like a little piece of film on it and then you can recycle the rest, and like these types of plastic you can recycle a certain way. So it seemed like of the like main options that are out there, this is kind of the most like environmentally responsible possibly option. So what I ordered is a 2-person 3-meal-a-week plan. Another thing that was important to me was that you have options, because I know with a lot of these meal kits, if you choose one of the like specialty diets, you don't really have as many choices each week. This plan gives you 5 different meals to choose from each week, of which you pick out the 3. Which is really nice because, for example, I don't eat seafood, so I just don't pick the seafood ones. And probably like my next least favorite meat is sausage, so okay, I won't pick the sausage ones. But then there's still other options, with chicken and pork and beef. You could even do a vegetarian one if you wanted. So that was something that was really important to me as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. So today is Friday, and I signed up to receive our deliveries on Fridays because usually I would shop and prep over the weekend, and so they only deliver on weekdays, so I can't get my delivery like on a Sunday. But so I figured this was the closest, and probably what I'll do right now is I'm filming on Friday. I'll probably just unpack this and show you and like put it away in the fridge, and then I'll cook everything on my normal day over the weekend, and I'll show you that too as my meal prep. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig into this week's kit. So right on top are the menu cards for the 3 meals that I've chosen for this week. So we have Mediterranean meatballs with kale, cauliflower, artichokes, and sun-dried tomatoes. Hello. This one has, now it says 16 net grams of carbs per serving. I will say that we have kind of moved on from full-on keto to just like as low carb as possible of a diet, and so I feel like, for 1 meal's worth, this isn't that bad for us, but you know, your mileage may vary. The next one is pecan crusted pork chops with Creole Dijonnaise, barbecue spiced squash, and collards. And that one is 16 grams of net carbs per serving. And also all of these are on both the keto and the gluten-free menus. And then the last one, I'm excited for this one, harissa spiced chicken with paprika, turmeric, tomato sauce, kale salad, and broccoli. And this one is 12 grams of net carbs. Each of these cards gives you all the information about prep time, calories, a little description, the ingredients, and the other like kitchen tools that you'll need. And then on the back is a step-by-step instruction, and I really like that they give like photos along the way. So if there's a step you're not sure about, like, oh, am I supposed to mix that with my hands? Yeah, they're mixing it with their hands. Okay, so then the next layer in here, okay, so it's all in like a protective, not like a packing peanuts thing, but it's like a foam layer between a paper layer, and then the whole thing is in plastic. And it does say about this packaging, and it says it's recyclable with paper, so that's great. And then right in top here, you can see everything is just in its little individual bags, and it looks like it tells you which meal everything goes with. One other thing about the delivery is I got an email yesterday saying your delivery's coming tomorrow between like 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. So big delivery window, and it's like 1:30, and I looked outside and it just happened to be here. So I don't know if that's kind of my delivery time every week or how it's going to be, but it could come at any time during that delivery day. So like I wouldn't necessarily count on cooking it that day that it's delivered. I would probably plan on getting it delivered the day before, at least, that you want to cook. Okay, so here's the bag for Mediterranean meatballs. And it also says, this bag is greener than a salad bar, recycle me. So I'm not gonna open that right now. And this is a bag of kale that I guess goes with that. Here is the bag for harissa spiced chicken and another bag of kale. We're gonna be eating so much kale this week. And this is the pecan crusted pork chops and a bag of collard greens, and everything is really nicely labeled. And I'll also say, like, it's freezing cold outside today. It snowed last night, like it's cold here, but everything is really nicely cooled in this box as well. And actually now I'm down to this layer, so it says don't forget the ingredients that might be under here. And then there is a big honkin' ice pack, and under that I see all of our meats. So here's the ground beef, here is the boneless chicken breast, and this would be the pork chop. Okay, and then another big ice pack, and it says these can either be like thawed and drained and you can recycle the plastic, or you can obviously reuse them. Now if you're getting 2 a week every week, you're gonna end up with a lot of ice packs. But you know, it's handy to have, I guess. And here's that inner protective lining I was talking about. So it looks like, sorry if it's too loud to hear me over the crinkling, looks like you can kind of disassemble this and recycle it as well. So so far so good. And actually from what I've heard, people said, you know, they end up with like more than the servings for just the 2 people, which is great. We typically would need 8 servings for a week to take for our work lunches, because my husband goes 5 days a week and I generally am in the office 3 days a week. So that's 8 total portions of something that we would want to take for the week. So I'm just gonna put all this away in the fridge, and the next time you see me, we should be cooking. Hey guys, so it's Sunday, which is my normal meal prep day. So I'm actually going to cook all 3 of these meals today at the same time and just pack them up to have our meals for the week. I'm not gonna like film myself doing all 3 of them. You've seen me cook before, and there's plenty of other videos out there of people cooking their Green Chef meals. So I'll just show you one. Let's see, do I want to demo the spiced chicken, the pork chops, or the meatballs? I think I'm going to demo the chicken. So just just to go through the instructions, which again are all written out here. First you prep the broccoli, cut it up, drizzle it with olive oil, put it on a baking sheet. Then you prep the chicken, you season it with the spice blend, heat oil in a pan and cook it for 3 minutes on each side to sear it. Then you put that on the baking sheet with the broccoli. You roast the two of them together. Then while they're going, you can prep the veggies and the nuts. So that is removing the stems from the kale, chop that up, drizzle it with a basil vinaigrette, chop up the red pepper, shell the pistachios. Oh man, I could have got my own unshelled pistachios. And chop them up. Then you make the salad of the kale and the pepper and the nuts, and you can drizzle that with vinaigrette. Then you heat up the sauce, spiced tomato sauce with paprika and turmeric. Mix that with water, simmer it, and then you plate it. So I'll just be packing mine in a box. Cut up the chicken, divide the broccoli between the plates, fan the chicken. It tells you how to plate it, like fan the chicken across the plate. Serve the salad on the side, and it even says enjoy at the end. And actually I'm looking at all of these, they all give you the instruction to enjoy, so hopefully we will. Cool thing is every meal has its own color code, so like not everything comes in this bag, but the bag has orange and all the stuff that's in it has orange, and then this kale was separate and it's also orange. I'm a little amused by like a quarter of a pepper, yes. But actually a lot of times just cooking for 2 people, you do have to buy more ingredients than you need. You know, maybe you only need a quarter of a pepper, and then what am I going to do with the whole rest of the pepper? So you only do end up with the part that you need, which is cool. So one other thing is I'm washing these vegetables just because I don't know what their like washing status is. So I'm just going to rinse everything off myself too. Okay, so in order to be able to pack these for the week, here's how I ended up quote-unquote plating my meals. So the hot parts, the chicken and the roasted broccoli and the sauce, are all together in one container. The salad, which is the kale, the red pepper, and the pistachio topping, is in another. And then I put the dressing in another separate little container. I have that ×2 for the 2 of us, and I'm just gonna let these cool off for a little bit before I put the lids on them, and then I guess I'll just kind of pack everything together in meals. So one thing I'll say now, having gone through the prep of one meal, is that it does take quite a bit of equipment and it makes a bit of a mess. So you know, they're designed to be cooked 1 per night. I get that. They're not designed to be all cooked at the same time. I think I'm gonna have to make some little adjustments since I'm doing it for meal prep rather than, you know, plating it up to eat right now. I will say I did sneak a bite of the chicken and it's delicious. It has smelled amazing. It was cooked perfectly. I just followed the instructions on the card. It was perfect. So I'm really excited to eat these meals because they're obviously like well tested and well put together. And just one other thing, if you are interested, this is the waste that's left after prepping that first meal. So I have 1 paper bag that can be recycled. I have 2 of these bags that held like liquid sauces, and there's a note on here. They're a certain kind of plastic, so you need a certain recycling facility for these. They're number 4 plastic, but I will look into how I can recycle them in my area. And then the rest of these bags, I believe, are a different type of plastic. I'll have to look this up again on the website, but I think they can just go in the regular recycling. Here's how the pecan crusted pork chops came out. Ready to pack and take to work. Here's my last one, the Mediterranean meatballs, and here's how those turned out. And they smell delicious. The sauce is really good. So just a couple quick thoughts about the cooking process. The instructions were really easy to follow. Everything is pre-portioned out as far as like spices and, you know, the amount of things that you need, but you do have to do some chopping and prep of the vegetables, which is fine with me. I think it would be really easy to make your own substitutions or leave out ingredients. Like if you don't want dairy, you know, everything comes separate, so you just leave out the cheese. You do need some of your own ingredients, just like salt, pepper, and cooking oil, which is nice because I know some people are a little more particular, for example, about the type of oil that they use. So like I'm fine using olive oil. Some people prefer, you know, coconut oil or avocado oil or something, so that's all up to you. And of course you do need your own equipment as far as like pots and pans and spoons and bowls and stuff like that. If you read ahead in the instructions, you can see where you can kind of like minimize, you know, use the same pan for two things, that sort of thing, to save on cleanup. But in general, you know, each recipe is kind of made for assuming that you're just cooking that meal that day. So I have a large pile of dishes left over from what I did today, but you may not if you don't cook it all at once like I just did. So what do you think of the Green Chef lunches that you've had so far?
Very, very good. Very good.
Which ones have you had?
The meatballs on the cauliflower and kale.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And the pork chop, the pecan crusted
pork chop with like a Creole Dijonnaise sauce.
And the
collard greens squash.
Both of them phenomenal.
Yeah.
The spices that are involved, in my opinion, make it. The meatballs had a definite taste of cinnamon to them, some kind of.
Yeah, I don't know what was in the spice pack.
Whatever's in the spice pack with the meatballs, I could have eaten a bucket of them, and probably injured myself. But no, phenomenal, very good stuff. Green Chef, for mail order meals, they have to be the best I've ever had in my life. It's as if they're it's as if it's not mail order. It's like as if you went to the supermarket.
It's all fresh stuff. I mean, you saw the ingredients when I laid them out. It was like. And I was
like a quarter of a pepper is kind of strange.
Well, but I was actually really impressed because even though it was like an already cut up pepper, it was still like fresh. It wasn't like slimy in there or like
I mean, really
old.
It was as if you prepared those.
It was like one scallion in a little bag.
Had I been away and came back and you had those meals in the fridge and you lied and said I made these meals this weekend, whatever.
I did make them though. I cut up the vegetables.
But not from mail order ingredients. Is what I mean. Like if you actually went out and got that stuff, it would have I would have believed it.
All right.
Honestly, phenomenal, flavorful. Did not taste frozen, or it
wasn't frozen.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Everything
exactly.
was just fresh. So.
No, it was double thumbs up across the board.
You're relaxing. You have a shirt underneath. You just wear the shirt. You're wearing your robe. Okay. So what are you saying about mail order meals? This is a weird angle.